Me, I am a memoir. I said a memoir. We're going deep. We're going down to deep into the regular verse. Oh yeah, the regular verse. Regular.
Hello, Emily, and welcome back to me. I am a memoir regular, so regular. We didn't think we'd have to do it. We always think we never have to do it, but we're second week in regularity, and it was already pretty regular going through Wise Girls, so it's just consistently regular at this point.
I think our problem is we've chosen Mariah's acting and J-Lo singing.
I know. What were we thinking?
What world do we live in?
I know. So,
there's so many songs. First. We shouldn't have done Precious first. That's a good performance.
That's true. And we should have done J-Lo backwards to end with Let's Get Loud.
Yes, that would have been much better.
Amazing. But look, we've got so many songs. There's no prologue moments. We're just going to smash through them. So we're going to get the lowdown on the down low.
Getting the lowdown on the down low. All right, we're on to track 4, which was the actual lead single from this album. It's called Do It Well. Like all J-Lo albums, it appears again in about 5 songs' time with a rap feature by Ludacris.
I just covered both at the same time.
Well, yeah, because it's the exact same song and he just kind of interrupts the bridge break, basically.
And there's not even a video for his version.
No, there is not. So, yeah, Do It Well and Do It Well featuring Ludacris, bonus track, number 13. But the track 4 version, both versions are written by Ryan Tedder, who has written some of our favourite Kelly Clarkson numbers.
Yes.
Leonard Carsten, Anita Paree, Frank Wilson, produced by Ryan Tedder and Corey Rooney. Weirdly, the album track is 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and the Ludacris one adds an extra 30 seconds of Ludacris.
Yeah.
But it's the same song.
It's literally the same.
So this was a single. This was released. It was out in the wild. It hit number 31 on the US Billboard 200. Oh. And in Australia, it was number 18. What were we thinking? Top 20. Like, what is wrong with us? But this does have a video.
If I'm not obsessed, do it well apparently, but probably not really. And where's Ludacris in this video anyway? If I'm not obsessed.
All right, so Jen is walking down a gutter. Apropes.
Sorry, I forgot that this is that video, and we just need to preface this by saying this is the most fucking insane music video I've ever seen in my life. It's actually bonkers.
Very, very strange.
It's my favourite. It's now my favourite video.
So the cops look like they're arresting some sex workers, but Jen has no time for that because she's gotten a message on her very tiny mobile phone that there's some little kid she has to save. Yeah. He's wearing an ice cream shop paper hat and a singlet, and he looks very distressed. She's wearing a studded leather jacket, so you know she means business. So she goes into a club, which I guess is where this little kid is. Yeah. And her first thing she does is push a black man down a flight of stairs. Problematic, J-Lo. Like a full kick, he goes all the way down the stairs. Now, this club she's gone to is peculiar. There are some people in a hamster cage. One of them's running on the fun wheel, and a couple of them are drinking out of a giant, one of those, those drink things with the...
A cup?
That hamsters drink out of? No, it's like the big tube with the ball bearing in it where they just lick and get a bit of water. Yeah, they're drinking out of one of those. People. It's very strange. She finds another black person in the club, so she assaults him and throws him to the ground. What is going on with J-Lo? So I'm having some problems with this video. And then we discover she's thrown him to the ground because she needs room to do some choreo. She's worked out with two girls that were already there. Double problematic. Is he a rug now? Like, what has happened to this poor man? Then there's a different Jen who's wearing a red dress. She turns up in between scenes and sings occasionally. And she's having money thrown at her despite being fully clothed, which says to me she's the most skilled stripper who ever lived. Like, can keep clothes on and still have, dollar notes just chucked right at her.
But she was lip syncing like a drag queen, so that's why that's how they get tipped. It's a drag show.
It's a gay part. Okay. So she finds a back room to this club, which, what a surprise, a club where people are on a hamster wheel has a back room. So she finds a back room where a woman is helping a buddy of hers get into drag. Yeah. I think it's meant to be shocking, but here in 2023, it's just a man with makeup on. Yeah. Red dress Jen has spotted another black person in the club and immediately slaps him in the face and pushes him to the ground. She's got form.
Oh, God.
Oh no, it's okay. Chartreuse dress Jen has turned up and she kicks a topless white man over. Okay. She's equally opportunity with violence.
The amount of kicking in this video is more kicks than should be in any music video.
Also, why are all the men shirtless? No one has a top on in this entire video. She throws another white guy in a singlet across the room. It's no effort for her. I think maybe she's one of the Avengers. It's like Chartreuse dressed.
I feel like this is how she treats Ben around the house.
Yeah, very possibly.
Sure.
He's just lucky he's not a black person because he could get thrown down some stairs. Chartreuse just dressed Jen, knees black man in the head. She's back on that bullshit, obviously. Then studded jacket Jen finds a white guy in a room full of cakes and smacks him in the head. Yeah. Chartreuse Jen slaps another black man and hits another in the face without even looking. Like, he's just behind her. She's now got some sort of black man, sonar going on that she can just assault them without looking at them.
What is she, a cop? My God.
I know, it feels like it. Yeah. Well, she's been sent to find a kid. Maybe she's an actual police officer.
She's like, this makes sense. She's like, I know what cops do. And
I know what cops do. They beat up black people willy-nilly with no reason. Yeah. This is her audition for Shades of Blue.
Yes.
So then there's a fat woman in the cake room being force-fed cakes for a reason I don't understand.
Why would she need to be force-fed it?
Like, just to be,
we just like it.
It's weird.
I want the cake. You don't have to force it down my throat.
It's a weird moment. Then there's some half-naked people being led around in chains. Yep. And there's a dance break.
Oh, thank God.
That's what you need in this hard-hitting, black person beating, child endangerment video.
Because I warned you before that this was bonkers. Did you have any idea what you were going into?
I had no idea it was going to be this bad.
It's crazy.
So Jen does some moves with the girls. Then there's a woman dressing a man dressed as a mouse who's in a life-size mouse trap. Yep. But I say dressed as a mouse. He just has a small mouse mask on and he's otherwise wearing tighty-whities and socks.
Yeah, that's my background for anyone who wants to
you're really into some sort of mouse porn.
He looks so sad. Like,
he does. Well, he's in a mousetrap and he's being whipped. Jen wanders down the back room of what looks like a gay bar because there are only shirtless men in it, and no women. And then she finally kicks open a door and finds the missing kid who is cleaning the plates, I think, from the cake room. I can't look up what's going on with all the plates. But there are many plates, and it doesn't seem like they serve food here because no one looks like they've eaten a carb except that one woman.
Yeah, she's the only one allowed.
So she gets the kid, takes his paper hat off because that's obviously a sign of him being indentured. And on the way out of the club, she kicks someone else down the stairs, but it's okay. He's white. It's redressing all of the ills that she's done earlier in the video, and that is the end.
When I had to actually text you, like I said, because I watched it. I was like, "Excuse me, what is happening?
What is
happening?" The better part was that at the beginning when she gets the text of the little boy, I didn't realize that was part of the video. Like that was that was the journey she was on. I thought that it was like a sponsorship ad, like that she's worked in. You know how like some of Britney's videos will have her perfume. I was like, oh, Jen's signed up with someone. And she's like, we'll give you a shout out in my next video. And I was like, what is happening? Oh my God. It is.
And then the child turns up and you're like, why is there a child in this place?
I know.
Like, it's
insane.
Problematic for a million reasons.
Like there was, I don't understand any of it.
Do you want a little behind the scenes?
Please.
This is directed by the man who created the greatest film clip of all time. Oh. David LaChapelle, the director of Almost Home.
Wow. That kind of tracks, actually. Now that I think about it, he gave the same direction to Mariah, but with no budget and no club.
With no
She's
budget.
like, I don't want to go to the club.
She goes, I don't want to be kicking black people downstairs.
No, okay. So I'm just going to cast the net.
I'll cast the net.
And I might I'll think about sitting on the chair, but I probably won't.
I'll throw a jacket on the floor, just, you know.
And I brought my own.
I just don't care about the space.
Yeah, I brought my own fans. Both the Lamley
I don't
and
need to rescue
Wind
a child. I can act that with a single tear.
Yeah.
I can act saving a child with a single tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this works for me.
Yeah. And all the scenes of James Franco are the mouse man in the trap.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this is... wow.
This is the Regularverse version of Almost Home.
This is how it all crashed together, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is where the walls between the universes are thin.
Yeah. The change.
I mean, there are some coming moments on this album where the walls between the universes are very, very thin.
Oh. Interesting.
So, look, how do you feel about this song? The actual song, as opposed to the bonkers video.
This was actually
which is enjoyable, even though it's weird.
This is probably the one song that I do remember. Like, I remember this coming out, not being a huge hit, but I remember it. I wrote that it feels a little stapled together, but I kind of like it. Like, I think the wordiness is fun. There's a couple of times where she almost doesn't keep up, but I think she keeps up a little bit more than on other ones.
Yeah.
I just said like...
But it is a problem on this whole album.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's what songs were like at the time.
Yeah.
But...
It's just tripping over herself. You know. There is a song later where she does it so much better. And I was like, oh, she found it. And that's why it probably shows, like, in comparison, you're like, oh. So I think same thing. Like, it's not top tier, but it's also not her worst. Like, it's nothing as bad as the Fat Joe song. As in the Ludacris version, if I'm honest, I don't really need it. Like, I usually like when they bring a feature in, and I don't mind his feature on it.
But it doesn't like Ludacris,
it doesn't do anything.
Like you say, it feels stapled together. It feels like it's just been pasted in unnecessarily.
And I would probably just lean towards this one because it's that little bit shorter. But I did say the Moto Blanco remix is kind of disco-y fun. That came up somewhere for me. I think it was a bonus track on one of them. So we didn't cover it, but I was like, oh, I don't mind that. I just wrote the video as bonkers. So yeah, it's probably this pretty much copy paste what I said about Hold It, Don't Drop It. It's fine. I don't mind it. I can sing along to it. I like the wordy verses and stuff. Yeah.
I like the chorus. I love how urgent the chorus feels. Yeah. The chorus feels like it's like, this is it's got a hook to it, but not just a hook. It's like the hook's going to come and get you and drag you in. Yeah. Which I don't think the preceding 3 songs have had. They've had okay hooks, but this is like, no, I've got a chorus. I like her performance because she's talk singing and acting her way through
which I've always said is what she's good at.
Yeah, the verses are really contrived. Like they feel like it doesn't feel natural. Like some people can sing this kind of thing and make it feel like this. Like Beyonce could sing this, and you wouldn't even know that it was difficult because she's Beyonce, but Jen makes it sound like it's difficult. Like it sounds like it's hard. Yeah, she said like Beyonce could just trip through this and you'd be like, yeah, fine. Yeah. But yeah, she does sound breathless. Ludacris adds nothing. It's very ordinary, and I want to like it because it sounds like it's trying to be something.
Yeah.
But the end result, I think, is that it leaves me a little cold. And if it wasn't for the video, I don't think I would have had as much of a positive feeling for it because the video is so mad. Like, it's so funny and so stupid, and she's got like a whole Pam Grier vibe going on.
Yes.
Like, you know, it's very 70s action movie, blaxploitation kind of vibe, and I kind of love it, but it's really weird. So where do you think she sits in the I'm Real stakes?
I think there's just
high-low, mid-low.
Yeah, mid to
low,
high-low. Like, I feel like it was mostly her with some help. Again, there was the backing stuff. So I've got it at 70%, and then the 30% is the backing vocalist just going, all right, we'll lift you. But again, I feel like it works.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Mid-low and, you know, but regular, normal mid-low. Like, not a mid-low where it's like,
God.
she didn't even turn it to work.
Yes, yeah.
She's had a crack at the verses at the very least.
Yeah.
And are we Jamiroquai?
I think this is still
Gilla? Or just regular?
Jamiroquai. Yeah.
Jamiroquai. I think so too. I think she might think this is Jamiroquai light. And are you pro low or no low?
I think I'm a light pro low. Like, again, if it comes on every few spins, I might allow it. What is a bit fun is going, is it going to be the ludicrous one or not? Because there's nowhere to know. Am I going to be rapping? Song. I don't know.
It's the same song. Yeah, the only change to the writing team is the addition of Christopher Bridges.
Yes.
Like, that's it. Because it's just one little extra bit. I'm controversially an awe.
Oh, you went there. You know, you never go there.
I went to awe. I never go to awe, but this one just almost came through.
Yeah.
But not quite.
Okay.
I think it was the talk singing. I was like, oh, look, she's the verses are a bit boring, but it's that thing. It's that choice she makes to do something interesting with a song. A bit of song that doesn't need anything done to it.
Maybe she's like, I'm trying to lift it, everyone.
It's like, no, you're not helping. All right, now we're on to track 5 here in JLo's Brave. This is a song called Gotta Be There. Mm-hmm. This is written by Adam Gibbs, Michael Chesser, Crystal Johnson, Travis Supercat Cherry, Leon Ware, Arthur Ross, produced by the Platinum Brothers and Travis Supercat Cherry and Corey Rooney.
I'm not sure if Crystal may have written with Mariah at some point, or maybe earlier with J-Lo.
Maybe.
Either way.
I'm not sure. Crystal?
The name
can have a look.
Rings a bell.
You're having some... She's Crystal Nicole, I think is her performing name. Production and writing, Jennifer Lopez. Kiki Palmer, she's worked with. Janet Jackson on the Discipline album. Oh, she has worked on Touch My Body, I'll Be Loving You Long Time, Side Effect, and Hate.
Yeah. I knew I'd read the name, and I was like, that would be me, which means it's in Mariah's world.
Yes. She did 2 songs on Brandy's Human, which will come up later on.
Yeah.
She did a song on I'm Sasha Fierce, a couple of Pussycat
Dolls.
Dolls.
Doing all right.
Yeah. She was a writer on Only Girl in the World from Rihanna.
Wow. All right.
And a couple of Jessica Mauboys.
Oh, we love Jessica Mauboy.
I know. So yeah, she's been around. But yes, this is, I do worry when the best vocal on your song is a young Michael Jackson in a sample. You really have to look at what you're doing with yourself and the choices you're making. Like, and also in this song, again, she's a bee's dick off the beat. Like, she's a lot closer than in many of the other songs.
Which is really weird because that is something you can fix.
Yes.
Like, I don't know why they did it.
Just time shifted a little.
Totally.
I think they didn't like her. Yeah, this sounds like it's very much trying to be a song by someone else. And by someone else, I mean, it sounds like a song from maybe Charm Bracelet.
Yeah, I can hear it.
And instead of Michael Jackson, it's Mariah doing her own sample in the background. There are a couple of those on that album that this song sounds almost exactly like.
That's so true. Yeah.
Like, bye.
Yeah, that's very true. My first line in this one is, Fab will find the sample offensive.
It is very offensive. And not because Michael Jackson went on to become a horrific pedo, but because as a young kid, he had a fucking spectacular voice. I mean, his voice was always great. Let's not take anything away from him, especially when he was, at this point, very young. And it's just, it's a great sample. Like, how do you compete with that?
Yeah, that's true. I will say, like, they do tend to pick good samples.
Yeah.
But then can't always deliver. It's almost fighting an uphill battle. Like, oh, God, you picked too well.
Oh, we've chosen. I mean, this is the thing. I feel like a lot of these songs were probably for better singers. And they've gone, not that one. And she's just ended up with some sort of bargain bin savers, recycled reject shop list of songs that no one wanted. And this is where they've ended up. How else did you feel? Were you okay with "Gotta Be There"?
I said it was a listenable mess. I said it's all over the place, but I also don't hate it. It just has too much going on. I said it's again overkill, but inoffensive. Like I wasn't like horrified by it. It's just tone it down a little, guys. You don't need to throw everything in it.
Yeah. No, I was horrified by it.
Yeah.
Do you think she's going for Jamiregular or Sharegular? Shadegular?
Oh, I don't think she's going for either. I think she's going for Chambracegular.
Full regular.
Full just regular.
Charm regular. It's so charm bracelet. Like,
And I mean, funnily enough, I have a similar feeling about this album that I did with that one, where it's like, I don't hate anything here, but I also, I hated the bonus tracks on that. But it's just not the best of anyone.
No.
Except the sample's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the sample's great. But, again, your sample can't be the best thing about your song.
No. Unless you're Mariah
terrible
Carey, you're sampling yourself.
Yeah. I'm Real. What percentage do we think she's saying?
Because the sample's most of it, I've split it 50-50. So it's just mid-low 50.
Yeah, no, I've gone low because I feel like the sample is doing so much heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It actually means it doesn't matter if she's singing.
Yeah.
And are you pro low or no low?
I've gone for a firm or because I'm probably no low the song, but I do like the sample, so I just keep listening to that bit.
Yeah. Well, see, I could just go and listen to that song, so I'm going full no.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. All right. Track 6. How are we only up to track 6? I feel like we've been in the Regularverse for like months at this point.
I don't know. We'll just be quick.
Halfway.
About
Not
this
even
point,
halfway.
I know.
There's bonus tracks.
I start copy pasting about this point anyway.
Because all the songs sound the same.
Yeah.
All right. This is a track called Never Gonna Give You Up, track 6. Michelle Lynn Bell, Peter Wade, Kirsch, and Jennifer Lopez are our songwriters. Weird that a song only has 3 writers because most of these songs, because they're chockers with samples, have about 32 people on them.
Yeah.
This is produced by Kirsch and Bell and Julio Reyes Copello and Corey Rooney. How do you feel about Jennifer Lopez slowing things down a little here?
So I actually appreciate at this point that we're slowing it down because we've just had 4 really full-on songs.
5.
5, yes.
This is track 6, yeah.
I think the one mistake on this song is they leave her a little bit too exposed at the beginning. The first couple of lines, I was like, oh, Jen. But they listen to me and they start layering. And they layer a little bit of a background. And then the second verse has a bit more production. And by the end of it, I was like, okay, I don't mind this. So
yeah, that
first couple of lines, I was like, oh. But yeah, by the end, I kind of appreciated one for its place on the album. And I thought, you know what? She's done okay. It's not great. But as far as J-Lo ballads go, this is on the better side.
Yeah, like singing of slow jams has definitely improved.
Absolutely.
Because we've had some horror shows in the past. She's gained a lot of confidence from doing an entire albums of ballads in Spanish.
Yes.
They are, as you say later on, swamping her vocals with a bit of background.
But it doesn't feel
her or
wrong.
other artists.
Like it feels okay.
No.
Like, yeah.
And the other production elements also, and I think this is Corey Rooney's doing. Sometimes the production elements are so much louder than her voice. It's like, why is she even turned up this way? Unless it's because they don't want us to hear how out of breath she is, because she does occasionally get out of breath, even on the slow jams. And you know, one thing that I found bizarre about this, because towards the end of the song, the violin became more annoying than Jennifer. And I'm like,
I didn't notice that.
Am I now enjoying her voice? Or is this a really bad violin?
Do I hate violins now?
Because it sounded like an electronic violin. I'm like, is this a real violin? Or is this this might be a pretendy.
Don't listen to my album.
Pretendy.
That's not a real orchestra.
But no, every now and again, the really fake ones can kind of make you go, eh. Like they've got an annoying tone to them that it's like, it's like, that's not a violin. I don't know what that is.
It's a violent.
And there was just a moment where I was like, at the end. But, you know, I was surprised that I found that more annoying than her. So I'm like, maybe she's gotten better.
This song on second listen I liked it more on the second listen than the first one. I feel like in the first one I was like, the second one I was like, oh, actually, I'm kind of okay with this.
Yeah. Like I didn't absolutely hate it, which I can't say for much else on this album. So I'm real. What percentage do you think she's saying? High, low, mid, low, low, low.
I felt like she was singing all of her bits, so I gave her 75% of a mid to high low. Yes, there was help, but I felt like it was appropriate help.
Yeah, I'm definitely high-low for this one. This is a high-low song. And do you think we were going for a Shardegular or a Jamaregular?
I think she was trying to go Shardegular.
She went heavy in the Shardegular. Yeah. This is the song that she went, I'm doing
Sade.
I've got one Sade and one Jamiroquai, and that's the whole album. That's
I forgot the rest.
They're the ones I turned up to the vocals for anyway. I just listened to them in the car. They sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
And the woman they've got doing my voice is really good. And are you pro low or no low?
Initially, I was heading towards a no low, but then the second listen I liked it a lot more, so I've gone for a light pro low.
A light, but I am on.
Fair. Like I feel like that's his whole album.
Yeah, it's like it's right on the nut, but it's I could be convinced, like maybe if I heard it a couple more times in comparison to some of these other really shit songs, I'd be like, oh.
And like you said, miles ahead of some of those early ballads, which is probably why it's more palatable.
Yeah. But again, I think those had better production on them.
Sure.
And she was no good. And this one is a little bit, you know, like everything on this album. It's like, why is that so loud? And that's really good. Why is this violin hurting my ear? But I can barely hear her. Like, it's just a weird, there's some very strange production choices on this album.
Completely.
All right, we're up to track 7, which is called Mile in These Shoes. Mm-hmm. It is written by Nwagbara and Onique Williams, produced by Oak Felder and Corey Rooney. And we are right in the streaming era now. Like we are truly in the streaming era when album tracks can just hit the charts because someone's heard from someone else that there's a really good track on that J-Lo album. You've got to play it. This happened to this song in Finland, of all places.
Interesting.
Top 16.
Okay.
It was top 16 in Finland. It got to number 16 on the charts purely on weirdo downloads of just one song from an album. Not released, no promotion.
I'm not 100% if it was this song. I'm pretty sure it was this one, though. May have been used in a Desperate Housewives commercial.
Get out.
So I think that's
Finland.
Maybe in Finland. I think I remember there's a bonus track with Fresh Out the Oven that might have also. I feel like it was a tie-in of some kind. Yeah. Which is why I remember hearing a little bit of the chorus to this, but then not knowing the rest of the song. I was like, why don't I know this song? Yeah.
Until you get to this album and you're like, I remember that.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is the most interesting production on this album.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed this. This is like
Yeah.
a pure pop moment.
Yeah.
Like I really like, and the verses are clearly her. She's using some of the
Yes.
skills she learned with Anthony and Estefania to sell the verses. The chorus is obviously, there's a lot of vocals going on, and probably very few of them are her. But I'm fine with that. And this is a fun song.
Interesting.
Why was this not released? Like, I feel like this is better than both of the alleged singles. One of them was not actually released. But yeah, I feel like this is fun. Like, Finland are onto something.
This is so interesting because this might be the
You
first
hated
time
this one.
that we're going opposite. I really liked the intro with the man
Yes.
sort of moaning. I love that. And I really like the verses. I just think the chorus is so meh. And it's my least favorite song about shoes on this album. I enjoy your enjoyment though.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's because all of these songs are trying to be pop songs and none of them are really succeeding. Whereas I feel like this one is this is a pure pop song.
Yeah.
It's not trying to do anything other than be a pop song.
Yeah.
Like, it is a nice, simple, straightforward pop song. Nice, simple, straightforward production. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel at any point.
And like you said, like those verses, they kind of tickle your ear. Like I do.
Yeah.
I actually think I was more disappointed that the chorus didn't hit where I wanted it because I'm like, the rest of it's actually quite good. So that's maybe why I didn't personally enjoy it as much.
And maybe because you'd heard the chorus before and you were like, oh,
maybe.
I know this.
Yeah, could have been.
This sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
From Desperate Housewives. Or that time I spent in Finland.
There was
when
also,
at
I
number
think,
16.
yes, there was also another song by Shania, I think, called Shoes on the same Desperate Housewives season or soundtrack. I'm like, this Jimmy Shoes. I don't.
Oh, there was that Desperate Housewives CD. That's right.
Yes.
Madness. So how, on the I'm Real scale, how high do you think she went on the vocals?
I've gone
High,
sort of
low,
mid-low,
low.
maybe about a 60%.
Yeah.
There was some help in
Yeah,
that
same.
chorus.
I'm like mid-low. Oh, yeah, the chorus is
Yeah.
like a whole bunch of other people
Don't know
singing.
who that
Like,
is.
she's vaguely involved. And do you think we're in the shadegular or jimaregular time? Or just plain old regular?
I think we're in Jamelia regular. You know, 'cause it's pop.
Jamelia.
She's
I used to love Jamelia.
Superstar
She
would
was
have been somewhere around
fun.
this time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like it's pure pop, and it's something that I feel like we haven't had a go of for a very long time.
Very
like
long
maybe
time.
Waiting for Tonight was the last time we had like a pure pop.
Maybe.
Because the others have all kind of had like an R&B feel or a
Yeah.
you know, like some sort of urban influence, and this is just poppy.
Yeah.
So pro low or no low?
I want to hear what you are.
I'm pro low.
Yeah.
I'm fully pro low.
This is so funny.
On mine in these shoes.
I don't hate it. I'm a firm or. Again, there's just so many things.
I love a firm or.
We love a firm or. There's so many songs in her catalog that have some really good stuff, but just get let down by one thing. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater, but I also can't sign off on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I totally get that.
I love
but
this.
yeah. I just, I guess I've been hoping for a pop song all this time.
Totally fair, yeah.
Like on the last album when I was like, oh, this is almost like Finer Feelings. Like,
Yes,
it's like,
yeah.
this is like, oh no, this is unashamedly a pop song. It's not trying to do anything else. It's just like, this would have been a great Eurovision entry for, well, for Finland.
I think also I don't give a shit about shoes. I'll be totally honest. I'm not a shoe person. So
Yeah, I know,
maybe that's putting me off. I'm like, I don't want to think about your feet.
It's a metaphor walking a mile in the shoe.
Right.
All right, let's move on to The Way It Is. which is written by Bell and Kirsch and Jennifer Lopez again, our friends from the last Slow Jam. Rhonda Robinson, Gennaro Leone, and Bruce Rudd also on the writing credits. Produced by Kirsch and Bell and Corey Rooney. So very much the same team that gave us the Slow Jam earlier, the Never Gonna Give You Up. How did you feel about The Way It Is?
So my one pro to this song is the production does feel a little less cheap than a lot of what we've had before. But the rest of it, it's just fine. Like, she's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just fine. I don't really remember it. Like, but I didn't hate it. It's fine.
Yeah. I think she's gone AWOL on the choruses again. Like, I don't think she's even... Yeah, it's like they've got the background vocals in. She's like, oh, well, if they're there, I don't need to come in for that day. She's the slightly flat tone on the verses is definitely her. Like she's doing her best Gloria Esther Carey. But I did not like the production on this one. I found it too discordant. I don't remember if I liked it. I
think it was just sounded not cheap. Like everything else sounds tinny, whereas this didn't sound tinny.
Yeah, I just found it. I found it too discordant. I found it a bit jarring. Yeah. And again, like they're trying to disguise how little of the song that she's singing. Like they're like, oh, if we put all these bells and whistles in, no one will know that she nicked out during the recording and went and made a movie. So what percentage do you think she sang of this particular number of The Way It Is? High, low, mid, low?
Yeah, mid, low, 60.
Yeah, I reckon
there's a fair bit of help on there.
And what vibe do you think we're going for? Shadegular, Jimmeregular, or regular?
I really don't remember. I'm just going to say regular because I don't remember it.
I think it's fair. I think it's very Jimmeregular. It's, I mean, not well, but
yeah,
I think that's what she thinks she's doing. And are you pro low or no low?
It's still kind of in the or, but it's much closer to the no for me for this one.
Oh yeah, I'm well in the no.
The noiest. For me,
it's the knowest of knows.
Yeah.
So knowy. So knowy.
So much no.
No. So on to track 9. We're barreling through them now.
Because they're all the same at this point.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the same, we have all the same writers again. The same writers. Michelle Lynn Bell, Peter Way Kirsch. We've got Rhonda Robinson back, John Hill, Caleb Shreve, Jennifer Lopez, Bobby Hebb. Like, everyone's just turned up this week. Again, Kirsch and Bell and Johnny Rodeo and Chuck Brody producing with Corey Rooney. Like 5 producers on a song seems too many.
Yeah.
Like 7 writers and 5 producers. Like, it's a lot. This song, Be Mine, it's only 3 minutes 20.
We love that.
This is I've decided at this point of the album, at track 9, that this is an up-tempo version of Como Ama Una Mujer, because all of the songs are starting to sound the fucking same.
Totally, yeah.
And I'm not surprised to find that it's the same producers, same writers for these handful of very similar tracks. This one is slow enough that she seems almost to be keeping up with it. Or I've been worn down by how she sounds, and I just think
little from column A, little from column B.
Again, bolstered by a number of background artists filling up the sound. And I feel like this could be a decent song, but you know, like most of her dull ditties, it just doesn't progress beyond the first verse and chorus. It's, oh, you're doing that again. Like, I heard that in the first half of the song. Like,
yes,
you want to give me, no, you're just going to do it again. So yeah, I feel like this is just Be Mine. No,
I will not.
How did you feel about Be Mine?
I do appreciate that the production is much more measured here than everything else. I think, like you said, everything's starting to pull together. Just feels a tiny bit more connected than I think a lot of the others. It's not reinventing the wheel by any means. It's a fine album track. I think the song is actually not bad. I agree it doesn't really go anywhere, but I think I'm okay with that because it's only 3 minutes. Like,
Yes.
if this went for 5 minutes, I'd be, get the hell out. I think this is...
If we had another verse, another chorus, it'd be like, I would have jumped out the window.
Yeah. I think this... it's another one of the slightly wasted opportunity because I think potential, because I think a better chorus would have wrapped this up quite nicely. Because I quite like pretty much everything else that's going on.
Yeah. It's just a pity. So what percentage do you think she's saying in the I'm Real?
I think this is actually relatively high. I put this at 80%.
I said mid-low because she gets a bit swamped. They kind of drown her out a little bit.
We play someone else.
And do you think we were going for a Shardegular or a Jamaregular vibe?
I'm gonna go maybe Shardegular.
Yeah, I think this is weirdly trying to be both.
Both,
I don't know how.
No, I
feels
kind
like
of agree.
It's like, I'm like, how are you trying to be Shardegular and Jamaregular? Like, that's a weird place to try and fall. But this is the song that makes you go, well, maybe you did think you were doing both at the same time.
Yeah.
Are you pro low or no low?
I mean, this is I feel like I'm starting to sound the same because it's kind of in that area. Maybe a light breeze of pro low because I remember it.
Yeah.
So I think there is some good stuff there, and it's not jarring, but it's also not like, wow, I can't wait to hear that again.
Yeah. All right, on to track 10.
What did you say?
Again, I said no.
Okay.
Very much no. Sorry. I thought I made that clear.
I don't have it on record.
It shouldn't have been a surprise that I was a no. So yes, I'm definitely a no though. On to track 10, which, if you're having deja vu, it's because, again, I Need Love is written by Bell and Kirsch and Robinson and Hill and Shreve and Jennifer Lopez. And the production is, again, as with the last track, Bell, Kirsch, Johnny Rodeo, Brody and Rooney. Like the same people. They have just done the same thing again. How do you feel about I Need Love?
So I did write that I feel like I should hate it, but I think it's kind of cute. Like, there's something about it. I was like, I don't think it's the best version of this kind of thing, but the production gets out of the way so I can enjoy her measured vocal.
Yes.
A little bit of a hook. It's not trying too hard. It kind of makes me feel like it's a more palatable Baby I Love You. That kind of style where it's almost not jazz, but it's almost a little bit, I don't know. I can imagine her singing this at a piano bar or something with a little bit of production. I actually hear this as a Britney or a Janet album track. That's the vibe that I got for it. So yeah, I kind of liked the balance between the production and the delivery. I kind of liked it.
So she's doing that thing that drives me crazy, where she gets a song that's really good and sings some other shit song over the top of it. Like, the reason you like the production is because it's a great fucking song. It's a Bill Withers song called Use Me, which is like, Bill Withers Ain't No Sunshine.
See, I didn't know that,
Ain't No Sunshine. Like, Bill Withers, amazing. So Use Me is one of his songs. It's a corker of a song, and they have done literally nothing to it.
Okay.
Like, they've just stripped out his vocals, and she's just being a whiny bitch over the top, and that annoys me. I'll say a weird, fast talking, not quite singing becomes tedious when you can hear another song.
Yeah, like, see, I don't have any of that.
If it was the song you knew, like if this was, like when Gwen Stefani sings on the top of, If I Were a Rich Man, you're like, oh, I really know that song really well. But then you're like, oh no, but she's bringing something new to it.
Yeah.
But if you heard this on top of a song you already knew, you'd be like, I don't want to hear that. But weirdly, I liked the lyrics. Like, I really enjoyed the lyrics, which is the first time I've said that about a song that she has a writing credit on.
True.
And I'm shocked at myself.
I mean, Dear Ben was a masterpiece. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I was surprised because, like, her talk singing, which I'm normally I advocate for because I think she's good at it.
Yeah.
I feel like she sounds a bit bored in this. Like, she's...
it's funny. Again, totally different ears because you're comparing it to something you know. As someone who hasn't heard that, I think this is quite fun.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? It's like if you hear something you're like, this is not what I know.
I think especially on this album where I feel like the lyrics in other songs are just, it's too many of them.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I can hear what she's saying even through the farce. Like her enunciation's so much stronger here, but not because she's trying. It's just there.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some things I like about it. There's a couple of things I absolutely hate. But I do love the Bill Withers song, so I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Do I technically like this song, or do I hate it because she's ruining it? It's a difficult emotion to have. What percentage of the song do you think she sang in the I'm Real?
I put this quite high at 90%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a highlight because she's just talking it through. Like she's not trying too hard to do anything adventurous vocally. And I enjoy that she never trips over herself on this one, where she does everywhere else. In this album. I will give her that. And this one, the breathing is at least at a level where it's okay.
Yes.
And do we think this is a Shardegular or a Jamaregular?
Oh.
I feel like I
think it's kind of both again.
Yeah, I feel like a Jamaregular slow jam, a kind of a pacier Shardegular.
True. Yeah.
I feel like it's I think she is in trying to do both. Trying to have your cake and eat it there. Like, what are you doing? As if she ever knows what a cake is.
She gave it to that lady in the club.
Yeah, she did. And are you pro low or no low?
I am pro low on this one. I like this one.
Yeah, no, I was no. Weird. We've had some very differing opinions. Like sometimes we're like, oh yeah, no, neither of us are really into this one. And the other was like, I like this one. No, I hate it. I know. Turning into David and Margaret.
We are.
So yeah, I'm a big no. All right, track 11, Wrong When You're Gone. So this is Lewis Smith, Muhammad Nelson, and Kerry Hilson.
Is it ever?
Has popped up. Produced by Big T and The Clutch again with Corey Rooney. It's a ballad. I mean, thankfully some other people are singing the chorus, and I appreciate she's having a red hot go at the rest.
Yeah.
Like a red hot go. But this is a half-assed attempt to do We Belong Together, and it is not even close.
I didn't catch that.
To that mark. Like, don't riff on a generational hit by a superstar vocalist and think you are going to come anywhere close. Like, it's like, if anything, it's trying to be Halo. And even that's not, like, it's... Yeah, I was not in. Like, it's distant. I did not love this ballad. Did you enjoy this ballad?
I don't know. My first thing that I noticed is Kerry Hilson before I realized she wrote on it. I was like, is that Kerry Hilson? But she is credited, so that helps. I said, as far as J-Lo ballads go, it's not awful. She does stay within her range, which I appreciate.
I loved that she had a crack, but I'm just like, don't try and do We Belong Together. That's not going to happen for you.
I said, I don't need to hear. I don't need to hear it again, but I'm not horrified that I had to sit through it. Really,
that is a terrible emotion. I'm not horrified I had to sit through.
I know. I think the main thing is, and she normally doesn't have this approach with albums, but whoever put the track list together, it was time for another ballad, like, or something more chill. So I'm like, as far as that goes on this album, I was like, oh, good. Like, we're not going for another full-on thing. But the song itself, I don't really remember it.
No. Yeah. It's, like, seriously, like, I was just like, it's not anywhere near, close to We Belong Together in structure. But it's just something about the, here's a kind of tripping along verse and then bang into a chorus. And you're like, oh, I see what you're trying to do here. I see what you're trying to do here. It worked for Mariah. It does not work for you. So what percentage do you think she sang on this song?
This is mid-low again.
What percentage do you think Kerry Hilson sang?
Yeah, I feel like Kerry was all over it. So maybe a 50-50 split.
Yeah, I said mid-low.
Yeah.
It's very mid-low. And do we think we're in Shardegular or Jamaregular land?
I think we're in
Mariah Egular. There's been a couple of tilts at Mariah Egular this album, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, like you stayed away from that
And it makes
part
me
of
wonder,
her.
is it her that's doing it or are other people getting her to do it? Because I don't think she wrote on this song, did she?
No,
someone-
yeah, she's... Oh, no, this one she did not. No. This is not her. This is...
I wonder if at this point...
Yeah, I think this is like,
Why?
probably been pitched at Brandy or someone. Like,
yes.
you
because Kerry wrote on
could,
a lot of Britney songs and...
Yeah. There's probably
around
like,
this time.
you could probably pull off a We Belong Together ripoff
Yeah.
to someone else. And then everyone's gone, I'm not trying that. I'm not
I feel like
idiot."
a lot
And
of
then Jennifer's
people-
like, I'll do it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would get the call of like, oh, Kelly Clarkson doesn't want to do it, but we've just heard from J-Lo's people that she's interested. And you'd go, oh, J-Lo? And then, hang on. J-Lo. It's not
J-Lo.
It's not going to be a movie. She's just singing the song. Okay. Yeah, so you'd be
J-Lo
excited.
to do my We Belong Together knockoff. Like, that could have been a
I
hit.
know.
It's could have been a hit. Can I sing it? All right, Kira, you have
No, you
great.
can't sing.
So do we think it's a prolo or a no-lo?
I mean, again, copy paste. It's not a bad song, but it
No.
doesn't go anywhere. So again, it's just that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I mean, look, a decent vocalist could have had a real crack at this, I think.
I think some of it is also this time in music, like you said, it wasn't great. So I probably wouldn't
It
have
was
liked
not
this.
great.
Like I would have listened to it and gone, oh yeah, that's fine. At the time with a great singer. Like, yeah.
I
Not
think
everyone
that
can
thing
be
happened
Mariah.
We Belong Together happened and it was massive. And then there were a whole bunch of knockoffs of that.
Yeah.
And, Single Ladies happened and it was huge.
Yeah.
And there are a whole lot of knockoffs of that. And that was the thing. Like it was, there were these big generational songs that were massive.
Yeah.
But everything in between was trying to be those. And you're like,
Yes.
no, just make, like, you don't have to make another one of those. Like just make a fun, creative pop song and maybe it'll turn into that without you meaning to.
Exactly.
Instead of like this, we can almost do that same song again. It's really best you don't. But that was kind of what was going on in pop music at that time. It was like,
completely.
let's do another single, ladies. No, don't do another single.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I'm definitely a no.
No.
Big fat no.
No.
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck out.
Just walk away.
Walk away.
You tacky regular bitch.
Regular.
Get the fuck right out of my face.
Regular bitch. Ooh, we're almost home. Unfortunately, we have talked way too much about.
Again,
way
I
too
really
little.
didn't think it would happen because nothing happens on this album.
Nothing happens on this album, but we had some many strong views about how little happened. So we're going to continue those views next week. There's a couple of bonus tracks, one of which I promise we may like. But I can't guarantee anything because I don't know how you feel about things. But we
find
may like a bonus track.
We'll like different ones. I'll like the one you hate. You'll like the one I hate. It'll be a whole
That's
thing.
generally how it goes with us, I think. All right, join us for one final dip of the toes into the Regularverse before we exit back out into Mariah Land.
Hooray.
Bye, Emily.
Bye.